Hi, welcome to another video on my TXT Discovery robot and controller. And last time I created this program in order to concentrate really on the motor, or more appropriately, more accurately, the synchronization of the motors, because what I want to do, and have failed to do so in the recent videos, is to get a straight line driving or performed by the robot. The objective of this video is to get more clarity of how things work, and so far, if you watched the last video, is quite remarkable, because with this code it turned out that it started out with a very short straight line, and then by running this program more than once, it turned out to be anything but a straight line. So then, testing why things happen and if it was really my program, I tested with RoboPro, and to my amazement and disappointment, it turned out to be a complete curve. So now I am back to testing, and first let's see if everything in this thing works. So does it has one print line, so that should be enough to see if anything happens. There we go, and it goes from a very short distance, and that is something which is odd as well, because finished indicates that it has completed this distance. However, so far it has proven to be absolutely ignoring any distance difference, since when I put it to 1000 or 500 or 20,000, it doesn't matter, it just does a short difference. So I've tested for what it is exactly: the synchronization, which uses clock pulses, pulse counters, and it didn't matter. So with that said, let's see if I can do anything else. What I can do, of course, is change the code from rechts to links, from right to left. So let's do this, and back to a floor test once again to see if this makes any difference at all. So let's run the software, which has a change for the check from the right side to the left side. See what happens. I will have to run the code a few times. And already I think I noticed that it doesn't run a straight line. The question is, does it run a straight line at this moment? Yes, it seems to do that. So let me adjust the camera for a bit. So this is just running the same piece of code time and again. And even now it's not running a straight line because it's turning to the right again, to the left side again. So this is quite odd. Okay, so let's turn it around, see what happens. Yeah, let's put it like this. Not straight line either. It clearly bends to the left. So this is not consistent because in the opposite direction it went to the right. So let's move it like this. See what happens. And this doesn't really make sense. This is a complete bend to the right instead of to the left. So first conclusion may be that it doesn't matter which side has the control or is being synced to, synchronized. It is just not running a straight line. No matter left side or right side, it drives in a different direction. So let's try to adjust the program a little bit. To test something more is to make sure that the code stays running. So far it doesn't matter whether I put the distance in, so I am going to change that a little bit, and I put everything into a while loop, a while true, so until I enter program it will run. But I have to indent everything because a loop is indicated by indents in Python. Oh. And this is a loop, and This will be the next part of the loop, the while loop then. Alright, so now it is time to check if this code does it what it do, what it's supposed to do. Does it run in a continuous loop? And the answer is no, it does not. The problem is now that you see that the text goes on in the left window, but it drives for a very short time and then stops. So let's see if that happens again. And yes, it happens again. So 4 times and then it speeds up. So something is wrong, and I am going to put a print statement inside the if loop, inside the if statement. Print if. So now I know that it will go into the if statement. So what happens now? And it stops, and no if. However, it does drive for a little bit. So probably that is for set speed. So what if I say I set the speed inside here? That could be it. So let me change that. On the other hand, why should I set the speed over and over again? That makes no sense to me. And here it just says stop. I could also move, let's try that, put the says distance out of the if statement. Let's just try again. So I say yes and set them here. Now remove the indent. What happens now? Same thing, a very short distance and it stops. So that makes no difference. What does make the difference? Well, I can always put them back. And they're back. A few times undo. So what is next to try? Putting these lines inside the loop. Can also be. So to delete here, and I put them here. Oops. Means I have to indent them. Try again. And now what happens? Nothing at all. Okay, now it doesn't drive at all. So these two lines really need to be outside of the if right here. So what next? Let's just try. Another possibility is that think data begin and think data end is used to a few times. So let me put one of those right here, which also means that I have to put a think data begin here, and that I will include these two in the loop, or more appropriately, accurately, in the if. So let's see how this works. If it does anything. Nothing at all, but I find that I have forgotten one thing. A think data end needs to be followed by a sleep, and I forgot to put it here. So now I have one think data begin end and sleep here, and the think data begin and end here, and stop online with a sleep. Let's try again. It runs a little and stops. And the program continues. Alright. It goes from bad to worse. It does very, very little. I don't like that at all. I need to finish to make sure that the distance is really covered. The synchronization is needed to synchronize within the motors. It needs the time to sleep for 1/100th of a second. Wait. That's a good one, because I have here 0.01 and here 0.1. So let me take a look at the other code. What I have for sleeping time. That is a 0.01. So let me put a 0. No clue if that is making a difference, but let's just see. A very small difference. A bigger difference, a bigger distance, I should say, larger distance, but that's a remarkable larger distance that it covers. But then again, I don't like these things as well either. I mean, does it indeed need them. Let me put this out. Oops. Come on. And test again. That seems to make a difference. So let's see. So with these latest code changes, let's test how it works out. Now it keeps running, which it didn't do before. So that's positive. On the negative side, this is anything but a straight line. And I don't like that. So let's do it the other way around, the other direction. This was a right bend curve. That's not what I want. So I keep wondering what's up if it is my code of the controller. Because this is a very strong curve, which resembles the curve that I noticed at the end of last video. It was not even my code, that was RoboPro. So this is very odd. Alright, yet another test. Yeah. Will this be another? And now it is a left turn. How about inconsistent? This is just really odd. Okay, one more. It starts out more or less straight and gets slightly right turn. So on the positive side, it keeps riding. On the negative side, the straight line that I want is not even close. And I really keep wondering if it is the interface, because that my code is causing this. I don't believe so. Apart from that, What I did not show this time was the date setting, and it was, despite the new battery that I set in last time, it was again on the default time of 2001. So yeah, it gives food for doubt about the quality or the correctness of this controller. Anyway, so much for this testing. Some questions to answer for the developers, or more appropriately the maker of the controller. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, please consider allowing advertisement between the video segments, or visit my website for another way of support. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also take a look at my Instagram, or follow me on Twitter. To be continued.